Alright, I'm doing a core draft. First pick, gosh, this is a really tough one. I think I'm going to go with Angelic Captain though. It was either that or the Wooden Shield. If Angelic Captain wasn't here, I'd be looking at Dragon, Rabid Wolf, Hailstorm, in that order. Yeah, that's a really good pick. Alright, let's see what else we got. Unholy Knight's actually really good. It can wipe the board fairly easily. It's like a mini meteor. Armadillo is good. Looks like they took an uncommon. Yeah, Armadillo, Dwarven Sot, Fire Spawn, Unholy Knight are the considerations here. I'm just going to take the Unholy Knight because it's a good board wipe. Okay, I like Tiny Titan, and I like Baleful Mist, and I like Mountain Giant. I think I'm going to try and get as much removal as I can early on. Summon Spirit's actually pretty good too, because it replaces a corpse and puts a 1/1 there, so it's the same cost of removing a corpse, but you get a 1/1 flyer instead. I'm going to take the Baleful Mist though. Okay, I like the Dragon. I like Tiny Titan, and I like Ancient's Fury. You can actually make an Ancient's Fury deck that's actually very strong, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Dragon for now. We have a lot of high casting cost stuff, so we need to start filling in with lower 2-drops. Bears, if you will. 2/2s for 2. And as if on cue, we get a Zombie Thug. Mana Flask is actually pretty decent here. The rest of this is not playable. I should rephrase that. Not playable under normal circumstances. Okay, we got an Armadillo 6th pick. That's a clear choice. It's between that and the Whelp, but Dillo is way better than the Whelp. I'm not sure what rune words there are that might be playable, but I've had Ancient's Fury be playable, so I'll snag that up, but chances are I'm not going to play it. Okay, Fairy Ward's actually decent, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Spirit Summon, or Summon Spirit rather. Yeah, I won't play either of these. Maybe the Gull if I come across a deck that's got a lot of flyers in it or something. Yep. Horde of Worms. Wow, another bomb. Other things in the pack that are good: Swift Ghoul, Dream Conjurer is good. The Spine Bat Rider is probably okay. Fire Spawn's actually pretty decent. This pack isn't bad at all. I've used Transform Potions as a when I was low on removal before in order to neuter some creatures, but we're just going to go ahead and take the Horde of Worms here. We got a spiked armor, which is actually pretty decent. Our curve is really bad, though. We have a lot of high casting cost stuff. I'm going to pick up the spiked armor. Seems like the pick here. There's the only other thing really that I would consider is the Dwarven Sod or the Ancient's Fury if I was building that way, but I'm not. Yeah, Thoughtful Cleric's not terrible, but yeah, spiked armor can really shut down other decks. So we are definitely looking for lower casting cost creatures. We need a lot more bear type creatures. Okay, and we get a lightning elemental. Lightning elemental is basically 4 casting cost to deal 3 damage to something. That's removal, so yeah, it leaves the corpse behind, but usually if you're killing something it doesn't matter. Titan Stomp and Shrivel are also good. Hauntless Ghost I've actually found overperforms. Very good chump blocker because he has dust. If the lightning elemental wasn't here, I'd probably take the ghost. Okay. I don't really like Berserker Gnome. Stuff with 1 toughness and volatile tends to get, you place it in front of something, he just moves that something and uses a removal spell to kill that. We are really high on our curve, so I'm going to go ahead and take this Relinquish. If I didn't take the Relinquish, I'd probably pick up the Shrivel next. Okay, no bears again. Yeah. Don't really want the Dwarven Sot. Hailstorm is pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. It's more of a sideboard card, but still, it's a decent card. 2 mana for 6 damage to all his creatures, or 2 damage to each of his creatures, I should say. Longsword, I've been very shocked by how well Longsword plays, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. You play that early in the game, and it just keeps on trucking. We're actually getting kind of a gear-heavy deck. Alright, well, the choice is between Ward Mage and Holy Bolt. I'm inclined to take the Ward Mage because we need lower casting cost creatures really, really bad. These aren't really playable. I'll pick up the Fairy Ward, it might be playable at some point. Wow, a present. Nice Armadillo versus a sideboard card. Alright, we get a green slime. That's perfect for what we're looking for. Because we want low casting cost stuff, and an armor 1/2 for 2 is great. Start buffing the crap out of him and he does a lot of work. As far as synergy goes in this deck, there's like really in core there's not a lot of synergy that you're going to get. Basically, you just want to make sure you have enough removal to plow the road for your beaters. Okay. No 2/2s for 2. That's what I was looking for. It's become a very high priority now. We do get a nice bit of removal, 3 damage to anything that's not undead, or 2 to the hero. So we're going to go ahead and snag that up. So let's Let's look at our removal so far. We have a board sweeper, we have single target. Spiked armor is kind of removal. It's more like damage mitigation, if anything. Alright, so fear is actually really good. Spark is mediocre compared to some of the other stuff. We have the zombie thug, of course. Fear actually does a lot of work because you can bounce creatures after they've been buffed by the hero abilities. Deep Thought isn't even crossed my mind. It's terrible. You don't want to spend that much money for 2 cards. But we really need a zombie thug, so we're going to go ahead and pick him up. Even though the fear is excellent, excellent removal. Most of this is crap. Raised Dead is decent for getting rid of a corpse, 1 mana. But we're going to go ahead and take the Holy Bolt for extra removal. Now, if it's possible you want to try and overdraft removal spells like Holy Bolts and like Spark or Baleful Mist, and you can just switch in and out for stuff that you might need for depending upon the situation. Okay, so we have 3 bear-type creatures. I'm actually inclined to go with the Hauntless Ghost over the Woodland Mystic. Mainly because 1 toughness creatures dies to everything, like any type of removal spell. Hauntless Ghost, he's at least got to work for it a little bit. So, we're going to pick that up. Okay, got Summoned Spirit, and we have a Flightless Fae. I really don't think I'm going to play the Flightless Fae because it's just a bear. So I'll grab the Summoned Spirit, at least that removes a corpse and puts something in its place. Wow, we keep getting these Armadillos really, really late. I guess they don't understand how good armor is in draft. I think that's our 3rd one. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And they've all come really, really late. So, I'd say Rally Undead. Not good. I don't think any of those 3 cards I'm going to play. Again, probably not going to play another Summoned Spirit, but we'll take it. And Ancient's Fury, which we're not going to play in this deck. Fireball, and a Firebolt, and a Toxic Concoction. Well, obviously we're going to take Fireball. There's no question there. Then the question would be, would you take Firebolt or Toxic Concoction next? And I actually think I would take the Concoction over the Firebolt because this cuts through armor and resist. So, you can't stop poison damage. Not yet, anyway. Relinquish wouldn't be bad either, because our curve's pretty high. Yeah, this is actually a really decent pack, because there's a Shrivel. You can make decent Ancient Priestess type decks, so. But we're going to go with the Fireball. Excellent removal. Okay, immediately Holy Blessing jumps out at me. Give an ally creature +1 health, and it gains armor, which is very good. Dragon is usually decent, but we don't really need it. We've got a lot of high-end stuff. We've got 3 Armadillos, Dragon, the Epic, the Angelic Captain. Dwarven Sot's good too, but we're going to pick up Holy Blessing. Okay, we only have 1, 2... Yeah, we need more bears. That's only our 3rd bear. Rally Undead might actually see play. I thought it was just a wasted pick. Seems like all our bears are undead. War Mammoth. It's actually decent. Yeah, but we need lower the casting cost stuff, so we're gonna go with our zombie thug here. Could have picked. I could easily have seen taking the War Mammoth or the longsword. I don't think either of those 3 picks would have been wrong, but we need a lower curve stuff. Okay, we get a rabid wolf, which is actually quite decent. And we got a charge potion, which I would consider, and we have a longsword. And Portly Friar isn't bad, but it's not doing what we want it to do. I think I'm going to pick up a 2nd longsword. Then we'll run 2, and then hopefully we can drop 1 early on. Yep. This does roughly the same thing as Summon Spirit, just no flying. It's 1 less mana though, so that, I think that actually has an edge on Summon Spirit. I'll pick that up. I don't know if we're going to play it, but, you know. Actually, that plays into our Rally Undead. And we get another Armadillo. That makes 4. Up to 15 creatures. I'm sure we have some that are not good. I'm just take the Mountain Giant. I don't think we're going to play it, but I'm going to take it. I won't play that. And we get a Wonder. This deck is actually playable as it stands now, without the last pack. Deep Thought, Flash Fire, Baleful Mist. Flash Fire is quite good. Basically, I'm thinking about either Baleful Mist or Flash Fire. I think I'm going to take the Baleful Mist because I want more cheap removal. And I would like to pick up a Shatter or 2 just in case. Smelt wouldn't hurt. Just for sideboard cards in case we come across someone who's crazy with the extra armor and gear. Okay. I don't think I want to run 2 Ward Mages. Don't really want Fire Spawn. Rabid Wolf is decent though. And Holy Bolt is also decent. I think I'm going to take the Holy Bolt. And we get a Hailstorm, a Toxic Concoction, and a Shrivel. I'm going to take the Toxic Concoction because that can kill anything. Basically, you poison whatever you need to die and just throw crap in front of it until it's dead. Okay, we have Dream Conjurer, which isn't bad. We have Fear, which is probably going to be our pick because it's very versatile removal, and Mana Flask isn't bad either. But we're going to go with Fear because Fear is resets creatures' stats back to whatever they were. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Let's see, we have a Corpse Explosion, Berserk, Gnome, Dark Missile, and Spark. I think I'm actually going to pick Dark Missile. Because it's removal, 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 and just damage. So, yeah. This 2 situational would be good. Whelp and Holy Bolt. I think we've already got 2 Holy Bolts, so I'm going to pick up the Whelp. I don't know if he's going to make the cut, though. Okay, we have Dwarven Sot, and we have Undead Rally, and we have Mana Flask. I think we'll take the Mana Flask, just to help grease the wheels a little bit. I won't play any of this. So we'll take a Transform Potion in case we need it for something ever. Won't play any of that either. Because I think that's like our 4th Summon Spirit. Alright, I think we did okay. Let's put our bears in. Yeah. That's pretty good. 13 creatures, 14. We'll up to 15. I guess we are going to play the Whelp. I would have liked more bears. They just seem to have evaporated. No, what are you going to do? Let's see, put our mana in. Baleful Mists. I like Holy Blessing. Fireball. Wow, we got a lot of playables. Yeah. I don't think Undead Rally is going to make the cut here. Alright. So, let's trim this sucker down a little bit. 4 armadillos. Thinking actually cutting the Unholy Knight because we're kind of armor heavy here. 4 armadillos, a Holy Blessing. Yeah, I guess we didn't need this after all. It's actually really good though because we have 4 zombie thugs. I actually kind of want to get this Raised Dead in here. That actually goes really well with Unholy Knight. A lot of your good gameplay comes from your synergy with your cards, so that's why I don't want to cut Unholy Knight now. I think I'm going to cut the 2 longswords. Just don't have room for it. I want to keep it close to 25 as possible. Cut the Mana Flask. Would have been nice to have the acceleration in there. Yeah. 15 over half, so yeah, that's fine. 15 creatures, really 16 creatures if you count the Raised Dead. 17 creatures if you count Horde of Worms. But, you know, anytime you play Horde of Worms, you're probably going to go get at least 2. I mean, I'm sure there's a few situations where you're going to use it just for 1, but You don't want to pay 5 mana for a 3/3. I'm happy with this deck. Fairy Ward wouldn't be bad. Fairy Ward on a Armadillo would actually be very good. We have Holy Bolt, Hailstorm, extra removal. We have 2 longswords in case they have some sort of stall strategy. Did we get any gear removal? I don't think we did. Well, that's not good. Oh well, hope nobody crushes us with gear. Alright, well, I'm feeling pretty good about this. We've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playable rares, plus an Angelic Captain. Yep. Alright, well, I'm going to put a break here.